Disaster Chaplaincy Services is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are on call all the time, and we respond whenever the call comes in.
Disaster Chaplaincy Services is a multilingual, multi-faith, multicultural spiritual response organization, and that's terribly important in a city like New York, which is among the most diverse cities in the world.
We have a multitude of religions represented and faiths represented in Disaster Chaplaincy Services. Because of it, it just is a web of spirituality that covers a city.
And I learned so much from my colleagues from other faith traditions about what are some of the particulars of each of our traditions and the spaces where we could really work across our traditions and help.
It is a wonderful organization. It's so diverse, and that it is not promoting any particular religious practice, but rather the manifestation of the spiritual motivations of all traditions to serve and care for the needy.
For me, it's very encouraging to see all of us together. You know, all the different faith traditions come together for this chaplaincy, all the different people. It's a great sign of hope for the city. To have something like Disaster Chaplaincy Service in the tri-state area is very important. It is a target, there are threats made, and it's not just for that, but also for the domestic emergencies we have, for the fires, for the floods, the harsh winters, for the shelters that are set up. That Red Cross knows, the city knows that we are available, that we are there, that we will respond when they call.
DCS is our biggest partnership group, and it's been just an amazing experience to be able to call on them and know that they have chaplains in so many faith groups speaking so many languages, and they come out and they heed the call and work alongside us in times of disaster. Any time of the day or night, I know I could reach an on-call chaplain. I know they'll be there alongside of us to help us provide compassionate care to those who need it.
One of the things that we do as chaplains is we're not there as mental health, we're not there as a particular denomination, religion, or faith, which is unique because it puts us in a place where we are representing spirituality in a very broad sense. When we encounter a person that is in the time of crisis, of disaster, we don't usually approach them with the clergy name of pastor or reverend or any other. For myself, I identify myself as Walter, as a human to a human.
As a chaplain, we also have a very unique role to sit and listen to people. Their stories are so important. It's like getting punched in the stomach, and when you come up for air, you get hit again. And that's why we're there. Lots of times to hold a hand, give a hug, and listen to the stories.
When we're in the field, we're attentive. We're scanning the group, we're looking out for people and what they might need. We don't force ourselves on them, but we're always paying attention so that they know that we're going to be there for them if they need us.
What our chaplains are trained to do is to really, initially, and the first thing is to be present. Just be present.
What we focused on
and work with whomever is in need. And our chaplains are trained to work with people of any faith or with people of no faith.
It's a very calm, but also a very intense process because it's always watching to see who's on the edge or who looks lost, who needed help. What we do share is a deep sense of carrying a prayerful heart into the work, so that even if we are not praying with someone else out loud, the attitude that we bring, the orientation that we bring to that work is a prayerful one.
It's really important for us to have partners, and one of the reasons it's so critical for us is that we've got to have partners in every community in this great city of ours. So we need every ethnicity to have a partnership with, we need every cultural orientation to have partners with, we need every religion to have partners with. And DCS really gives us a wide swatch of groups to connect with. Recently we had a disaster in Bronx where a number of children lost their lives, and one of the disaster chaplains was really critical in facilitating our assistance to those two families that lost 9 children combined and a mother. in a horrific fire in the Bronx in the middle of the night. We partnered with a sister from the Islamic community in Nora. She was just, I can't even say how great she was, because without her, it wouldn't have happened. That's how important her contribution was to us being able to provide the services that we should.
It's given counsel to survivors and coordinating the response effort for the local Muslim community, educating the community as to how to access the services that were made available by multiple city agencies to respond to the community's grief and loss. The janazah was held that following Monday and had a massive turnout. So you had people gathered in the streets 4 blocks deep to pay their final respects to those who had died in the fire. And that was an occasion for me to serve as a chaplain in my own community, but servicing everyone at large to provide support services during a huge event.
This is an all-volunteer corps of chaplains. And I'm really proud of the people. I'm proud of the work that they do. They do amazing, amazing things, and they make a huge difference in people's lives at a time when maybe there's no hope. And our chaplains show up, and in that moment, they're a presence that says there's something bigger than this terrible thing that's just absolutely changed your life forever. Something bigger is present here. And they represent that, at least for a moment.
Chaplains out in the field excel in their ability to provide compassionate presence and spiritual care, and feedback that we get from all of our staff and volunteers who are working alongside them is that it's been a very enriching experience for them as well as for the clients in need.
In the years since I've been in New York, there have been so many disasters I've responded to. But one of the things that I've recognized is there are many gods for many people. So having a multidimensional group, having an ecumenical group is so important. I think so much about Disaster Chaplaincy Services and what they do. And I guess the real thing is, in addition to helping all those people that have been affected by a disaster, they've helped me. Having that support for me when I'm out there, because I'm human and it's very hard. And you see all kinds of very sad things. People who die, pets who die, buildings that are destroyed, people whose lives are destroyed. And so not only have I seen what they've given to other people, I've been a beneficiary of that. And they've provided me with support. And what that allows me to do is to continue to do my job.
A guy comes up and starts talking. You got to ask questions. I don't know if this...
For Disaster Chaplaincy Services, the hope for the future would be that we are equipped, prepared in terms of human power to respond to any of the disasters that may emerge for us in the future. And we know that they will come, be they natural or man-made.
It's waiting. It's waiting. It's waiting in anticipation, hoping never to be called and prepared always to be called. It's because maybe something will happen. And we need each other in order to be able to respond. And everyone around us needs us as well, because they'll need responders. And we're prepared to do it.
Very rarely is the most important thing what we say. It's really the fact that we are there and that we're willing to sit and not walk away from the pain and the anguish of what comes along in life. We sit, we accompany, we companion with folks in the worst days of their lives.
Akeni chaklunan para ya un kreja nan DCS.
Ani Misharet Kirav, the DCS.
Soy un capellán con los servicios de desastres capellanos.
I am a chaplain with Disaster Chaplaincy Services.